Today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to create great landing pages that convert in a tool called Kajabi. And stick around till the end because I'm going to give you 3 little known hacks for increasing the number of people who want to read your landing pages and actually want to buy your stuff. Hi, my name's Annie Bauer and I'm a certified high performance coach and digital biz strategist. I teach online entrepreneurs how to start or scale their businesses and do it the faster, easier way. If you haven't subscribed yet or you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified when I post new tips, tricks, and strategies to become an awesome online entrepreneur. So for those of you who are beginners and maybe new to the online world, you may be asking yourself, what's a landing page? So a landing page is designed specifically with one goal in mind, and it's to get some sort of conversion from your audience. That could be to get them to sign up for your email list, or it could be to actually get them to buy something that you have for sale on that landing page, which is also called a sales page. Now, with that being said, keep in mind that landing pages have just that one goal. So most landing pages, I would say most of the time, do not have a menu at the top, do not have any other calls to actions, distractions, links to your social media or links to your blog anywhere else, because there's just one thing that you want people to do when they land on that landing page. So without further ado, let's dive into Kajabi. Log into your home page and we'll navigate over to the website. I'll meet you there. So now we're inside Kajabi and we'll just dive right in and I'll show you the process for building your simple landing page. So this is your Kajabi dashboard. You'll go up here to website and it'll bring up this page. Then scroll down on your upper left hand to pages. Click on pages. And then this will take you to website pages, landing pages, or pipeline pages. You'll click on landing pages here in the center. And then you will go up here and you'll say, as soon as this page comes up, you'll say new landing page. So you're going to add a new landing page. Then you'll scroll down here. You'll see that Kajabi offers you different templates for landing pages. You have sales pages, thank you and confirmation pages, and opt-in and lead capture pages. There's also some coming soon and some policies pages down here. You're going to click on opt-in and lead capture is what we're working on today. So let's just choose the McKenna. It's a simple style that'll get us started. So this is a preview of what your page will look like. Now keep in mind, you don't have to have this background. It just gives you the general layout and you can add photographs and change colors. So this does not have to particularly be feminine or be this particular picture. So then you'll just say get started and we'll title this and we're going to call this my awesome freebie. And we'll create that. And you can name that whatever you want, give it a name so that you'll remember what that page is for. If it's to generate email addresses for your email list and send them a lead magnet, then that's exactly what you'll name it so that you'll remember it. Now, it's building the page right now, and we'll go in here and we take a look at this page. And the first thing that I want you to do is get rid of any menus. So you can see this, it's a little hard to see up here at the top of the page, but the menu up here where it says about our blog, you don't want any type of menu or anything else on a landing page that someone can click on, because a landing page, as I said before, has one specific goal, and that goal is to get an email address or to get a sale if it's a sales page from someone. So in this case, we're going to want to exchange an email address for our freebie or our lead magnet. So we don't want anything that distracts the viewer from clicking away. So you can go in here and click on this and then go over here and just say delete this block. And then save. And now your header is gone. And then you can also click over here on the left-hand side and under desktop layout, click hide header just to make sure that there's no header showing up. And under mobile layout, which is also here on the left-hand side, you'll want to make sure that the box hide header is also checked. So you want to check mark in the box there. And then under desktop layout, make sure there's a check mark in the box next to hide header. And then don't forget to go down here and say save. So you'll do that. And then the next thing we'll do is the hook and the header. So it's extremely important, and I want you to spend some time writing a really captivating hook. And the hook is what goes right here. So it's the headline that captures people's attention. Because if we don't capture their attention, if we don't really make it pique their curiosity and tell them why they would want to do this download or get this download or get your freebie, then they're going to just click away. It needs to actually capture their attention. So I already have some text ready for this. And let's say I wanted to do this for my quiz. I have a quiz called What's Your Cyber CEO Quiz? So I'm just going to go over and I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to click on this box and you'll highlight this text. And you're going to hit delete and you'll delete that. Then you're going to go grab your text wherever you've written it before you got ready to do this page. So I will go grab my text and it's right here. And here is my captivating headline. How much more money could you actually be making? And we're going to copy that. And we come back over here. And we paste that text right in there. And then I'll need to make this a little smaller so that it'll fit in this box. So we'll take the size down a little bit. And now it fits in the box. And you can play around with your design after you've gotten your general layout done. The reason that this is a captivating headline is because it actually piques their curiosity. Questions are really great to use as headlines because it gets people to think and they're thinking to themselves already, well, I wonder what the answer is, so they want to read further. Now, we'll go to the body text, which is part of your header. And over here on the left-hand side, we're just going to highlight those words. Those are just sample words that are there. We're going to delete those. And then we're going to go back and we're going to grab the body text that we've already written. We're going to copy that, come back over here, and we're going to paste it right here into this box. And then I don't want this body text to be bolded. So I'm going to take this down to just a paragraph. And then I'm going to turn the bold off. So you see the bold B over here in the box. We're just going to take that bold off. And I'd like for it to maybe be just a little bigger. So I'll come over here, make it a little bigger. And it's still going to make it a little darker. And then let's take this headline and let's make it just a little bit bigger than the body text. Okay, so whoops, here we go, heading 2. Now we have our headline and we have our body text. Now you need your form. So this part right here is the form. And if you click on this box and go over here to the left-hand side, they'll give you a drop-down menu where you have choices of forms. Now, these are forms that you've already made. Now, I want to use this What's Your Inner Cyber CEO type. So I'm going to click on that. And we'll save that. And then we'll go over to forms because I want to show you where you would make your form so that you can populate that particular box. So you're going to go back over to under marketing on the left-hand side. it's under Forms. And a form is simply just, you would say, new form. And we'll call this test form for the purposes of this demonstration. And then the form is just what you're going to have them put in. So I usually don't on forms ask for more than a first name and an email address, because the more boxes that you have them ask for them to populate, the lower your conversion rates are going to be, because most people don't want to spend a whole lot of time on your landing page giving a lot of information. So this would be where you would build your forms. It's under marketing and forms. You would build your form and then you would name this, and you would see that whenever you get ready to use that form, go back to our page here. So website pages, landing pages. And we're working on this My Awesome Freebie landing page. So we'll click back onto that. So you'll see here that if you wanted to, on your form, edit this, and if I put in test, that form that we just built is right here, freebie test form. So you could put that in. Now you have a form. Now the next thing I want you to take a look at is your call to action button. Don't ever use a word like submit. It's just not really compelling. Use an action verb. So click here or sign up here or join here, and make your call to action button stand out, and also make it enthusiastic. Like it's exciting because we're about to get a free gift. So put some enthusiasm into it and some energy into it, and then use different wording. So you might do something like, so you're going to click here on this little box, submit, and then you're going to go over here to the left-hand side, and you'll scroll down, and this is the text. This is where you're going to change the text right here where you see my arrow. And you're going to change this because you don't want to use a word like submit. And you might put something like, heck yes, I'm in. And it's just more energy, it's more enthusiasm, it's more fun and playful, and it really engages your audience better. So I would save that. And then pink is not my branding color. So you're going to change this to your branding colors. But here is a piece of advice on your call to action buttons. Designate one bright color that will really stand out amongst all of your other brand colors, and always use that as your call to action button. And here's why. Because as people get to know your brand, they will come to just psychologically associate that bright color with a call to action button or a call to action to them. And every time they see that color, then they will be moved to actually take an action on that button. And then you want that button to stand out as well. So for my button, I use a bright yellow. So we'll say, we'll click on this button again, and then we'll go over here to button background color, and I use this bright yellow. So use a brand color that works, but stay consistent and always use that same color as your call to action or as your button color. So this is my button color, and then I'm fine with the button text being white, but you could switch that to a black if you liked. Just make sure that it stands out. And then we're going to save this. And then our very last thing is the background image. So let's say you don't want this background image to be here. And I have already loaded an image for you. So what you'll do is go over here and click in an open space. And these little boxes here, I want to point out to you, these are here as just filler boxes, and they help hold these boxes over here to the far right. So you don't want to click on these boxes and adjust them at all unless you're wanting to move these around on the page. So go over here and click in some open space, and it will take us to our background.
And you can see here underneath background that background media type has been selected as the image. If you didn't want any image at all, you could say none and it would go to white, but I wouldn't recommend that. Now, the best images for your background image that perform the best and will convert the best for your page is an image of you with your face, preferably either looking directly at the person, so directly facing out and making eye contact with the viewer, or looking towards the box. So if your gaze is looking towards the box and towards where you want them to give their name and their email address, then that's also another option for an image. So I've already selected an image. We're going to go down here under this box that says select image, upload a new file, and choose file, or we can drag and drop it. We'll just go over here and we'll drag the image on to this box right here. And there is my background image. So while that's uploading, you can, you'll see how this pulls in, and then we hit save. And you can tweak this image and play with the where you want the image to be positioned. Now, one more thing, as you scroll down here, you see that this also has a footer. So as I mentioned before, you don't want a menu up here anywhere where you would click on anything or have any calls to action or where people could click away to your blog. On your footer, you can either have no footer at all, or what I recommend is on the footer, you might want to put just your privacy policy or your terms and conditions to let people know if they want to go down there and they want to click on the fine print. It doesn't really take them anywhere. They would just come right back to this landing page, but it's always a good idea just to have your terms and condition and privacy policy on every page that you build. So you would connect those through here. So we'll save this right here. And now your landing page is built. Then you go to this little square right here where it says preview. Click on that box. And now you have a landing page. Very simple. And again, I want to just point out the main elements. Have a really clear, clean, crisp photo of you looking directly at them or looking at the text over here. Have a really compelling headline that captures their attention, and a short little explanation and description of what they're going to get, and then your form for them to sign in. That's it. That's how easy it is to build a landing page in Kajabi.
Comment below and let me know if building a landing page in Kajabi is way easier than you thought that it would be. And tell me what kind of landing page you're building right now. So that's it. That's how easy it is to build a landing page in Kajabi. Pretty much everything is there for you. All you need to do is go in and customize it with your text and your pictures. And now for the bonus tip that I promised you at the beginning of the video. 3 easy hacks to get people to read your sales page or landing page and actually want to buy your stuff. Tip number 1, spend 50% of your time building the header at the top of your landing page. That's that section that people land on when they first come to your page. You have just a few milliseconds to let them know that they've come to the right place. So in that header, pique their curiosity and let them know who it's for, the problem that you solve, and the transformation they're going to get from buying your product or from reading the rest of the page and signing up for your newsletter or your freebie. Tip number 2, and this is something that I see that not necessarily everyone does, even the pros. Keep the width of your landing page to 800 to 900 pixels across. So if you're building in Kajabi, there are actually 12 segments across the page that Kajabi divides your page up into. You want to always keep your text into 8 or 9 of these sections on your width. Then center that text and leave plenty of white space on the left and the right columns. This will help keep people reading down the center of your page and following your text. and it will also help mobile optimize your page so that the margins are not cut off and your text is not lost when people are viewing it on mobile or tablet, which is more than half the people out there these days. So tip number 3, you know how I told you to put a really great headline up at the top in the header section? With each section that you add to your page, with each thing that you're going to tell your person about, make sure that there's what we call a crosshead at the top of each section. That crosshead will be bolder and it will be bigger and it will relate to the crosshead that's above that. So that as people are skimming down the page, if they read only the headlines, meaning the header headline at the top and the crossheads as they're going down the page, they would be able to get the entire gist of what you want to communicate or convey only by reading the headlines. Now, why is this so important? So 80% of your people are only reading your headlines. Put lots of impact in those headlines, make sure they connect together, and make sure they tell the entire story without people needing to read that body text. Would you like more tips and strategies on how to grow your online business? Then take my super fun, slightly entertaining, and extremely informative quiz called What's Your Cyber CEO Type? It's a really fun 2-minute quiz, and it will give you advice and strategies and information to take your biz to the next level in 30 days. Click on the link in the comments below to access the quiz and get started now. If you loved this video and would like more information on tech tools and tips and strategies to grow your online business, then hit subscribe now. There'll be more ways on Kajabi and how to make your biz life easier coming your way soon. And get